Waqf was formed by one of the Arabic words waqafa, which means keeping or holding.
Now, let's move to Waqf concept. Waqf is a system that has existed in human life for a long time before Islam came, even though it was not known as Waqf. The term Waqf is not stated directly in the Quran or Hadith. It is the interpretation of the jurists related to the meaning of Sadaqah Jariyah, which is defined as giving away a property during his lifetime and its use remains forever. According to the Center of Waqf and Zakat of Usim, Waqf in terms of language means to stop, refrain and withhold. And the meaning in terms of terminology is to withhold one's property that can be used by others. The property that is endowed must be in good condition, permanent. The purpose of doing the endowment is to get closer to Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala and give welfare to others. The donor also no longer has the right to the Waqf property. According to the Kedah Islamic Religious Council, there are 5 concepts of Waqf. Firstly, the Waqf must lose ownership. Second, property that can provide benefits. Third, must consist of lasting assets. Fourth, Waqf shall be made permanent without any limitation of a period of time. Lastly, Waqf must be made for charitable purposes according to the Islamic law. In general, there are 2 types of Waqf, which are Waqf Khairi, also known as public endowment, and Waqf Ahli, or Waqf Duri, or familial endowment. Waqf Khairi is an endowment to the path of goodness in general. Waqf whose Waqif requires the use of the proceeds for ongoing benefits, such as for mosques, schools, and hospitals. Waqf Khairi divided by 2, General Waqf and Special Waqf. General Waqf can be defined as a Waqf created by the Waqif for the general benefit of Muslims, according to Islamic laws such as facilities or economic development of Muslims through various activities carried out based on Islamic law. Special Waqf means a Waqf created by the Waqif for the benefit of certain Muslims according to Islamic law, such as endowing land for the purpose of mosques, religious schools, Islamic cemeteries and others specified by the Waqif. Meanwhile, for Waqf Ahli is a Waqf that dedicated to the benefits of family members who have been determined by the Waqif. For example, is that donated property can only be utilized by large families for good purpose. This Waqf will automatically become Waqf Khairi when the designated people cease to exist. Pillars of Waqf. There are 4 elements to make the Waqf said to be valid and implemented. First, the donor, Al-Waqif, the Waqf property, Al-Mawquf, the beneficiaries of the Waqf, Al-Mawquf Alayh, and statement of Waqf, Al-Sirah. For each of these pillars, there are important conditions that must be adhered to making a Waqf valid and acceptable. So now, let's move to the conditions that must be made to perform Waqf legally. Let's start with the donor Al-Waqif. It is necessary for the Waqif to be an independent person, baligh, equipped with intellect understanding, qualified financially to donate his property, willingly pleased to Waqf his or her property or properties, and not forced by others. The Waqf property, Al-Mawquf. Al-Mawquf must be objectified in the form of a property such as endowed land. The property to be Waqf owned by the donor and that will be of benefit or serve an interest and is transferable. The property to be Waqf can be used forever, and the purpose of using Waqf properties must be permitted by Islamic law. The beneficiaries of the Waqf. Al-Mawquf alayh. Al-Mawquf alayh should be specified by the Waqf in his or her Waqf deed. A person must be capable of owning Waqf property in order to receive it, regardless whether he is a real or legal person. Real person such as family and the needy. Legal person like mosque and hospital. Regarded legally recognized beneficiaries. Beneficiaries could include Muslims and non-Muslim, the poor and the wealthy, and so on. Statement of Waqf. Al-Sirah. Akad is a word that can be understood or written for a particular purpose of Waqf. Akad is mandatory to confirm the endowment. Utterance of akad are divided into two, Soreh and Kinayah. Soreh is a clear pronouncement with specific meaning such as I intend to waqf my house for the poor. Kinayah is a pronouncement that brings many purposes such as my assets are for charity to the poor.
We move to the next part, which is cash waqf for funding higher education in Malaysia, a case study of Islamic Science University of Malaysia Usim. And first of all, history of cash waqf application in Islam. Actually, there is nothing new about cash waqf since this type of waqf is actually exists since the ancient times. There is research before said that cash waqf concept had already been used in German around 14th centuries and also around 15th to 16th centuries within the Ottoman Empire in Anatolia and Balkan. Even though during that time, the actual cash like now were not actually existed, but they used several things such as jewelry. The first proof that shows cash waqf application has been used in history is Sayyidatina Hafsah, who is wife of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had bought some jewelries and dedicated it to women at Al-Khattab lineage as waqf. So actually, cash waqf already been practices since our Prophet time. Second, in history had shown that cash waqf had been used for granting debt for people in need, so they can use it during their hard time, and when it comes harvest season or any time that they have enough money, they have to pay it back so that money can benefit others too. And the last example is, even during that long time ago, cash that they got from Waqf had been developed, like build institution for better learning experience or build some mosques by that wealth so that its benefit can be used by all Muslim like in our era right now. While in Islamic Science University of Malaysia, cash that center of awqaf and zakat accept from generous people out there also had been developed to make sure its benefits to be maximized and can be used by Usim staff and students. There are some projects that have been done or still in the planning level using cash waqf. There are Usim Health and Dental Specialist Clinic, which started operating in 2015 mainly to offer specialist health and services not only to Usim students or staff but to all residents in Negeri Sembilan, especially for people that live in the rural areas. Next, Residential College, which is one of the accommodation for students which are divided into two. First, in the campus itself, and the other one is outside the campus. And last is Usim Convention Center and Usim Hotel Tower, which is actually still in a proposing level but basically aiming for becoming a landmark that has its own identity. So this is actually shows that the practice of the cash waqf actually quite similar in the past and the current time. As long as it will give benefit to ummah everywhere, cash waqf that have been accepted must be managed properly by the authorities.
Next, we continue with distribution of cash waqf in Usim. First of all, the donor endowed waqf money for Usim will be managed by the Center of Awqaf and Zakat Usim. The cash waqf fund will be segregated from the side Waqf and study Waqf fund. Then, it will be used in accordance with the endowed contribution purpose. For example, by building, businesses and others. So, profit from the sale of Waqf property will be provided to qualifying students in a methodical manner. Next, we will move on to the cash Waqf benefit. For your information, educational institution, banking and financial institution, investor and the community have all profited from cash Waqf. For starters, because it does not require large sum of money, permanent asset or space. It allows for greater flexibility and simplicity in Waqf management. Waqf is traditionally focused on land or building, but because few investors have this asset, so cash Waqf is employed instead. Cash Waqf allow investors and others to participate in charitable activities even if they do not have any permanent asset. Furthermore, investors in a cash Waqf can continue to profit from their contribution and the fund place can be used by the community after the investor has passed away. As a result, when a bank encourages cash Waqf investing, it implicitly encourages social responsibility while also operating as a charity for investors. Next, the problem of unproductive and immobile Waqf property can be readily solved by cash Waqf. This is because cash Waqf simply requires monies to Waqf to carry out Waqf initiative. There will be no problem with underutilized Waqf property because cash Waqf fund will be used for people in need who have specific needs. Difficulties will not occur because each Waqf initiative will have its own goals and target in dispersing the fund. Apart from that, cash Waqf could assist educational institutions with cash flow difficulties by establishing a reserve fund in the education sector. It also helps students because endowed monies can be used to suit their requirements. Al-Azhar University in Egypt is an example of cash Waqf utilization in the educational sector. It's based on Waqf fund in the form of cash. Aside from that, the creation of a residential college, which is a requirement for Usim students, is an example of how monetary endowment has been used in Usim. As a result, educational institutions greatly benefit from monetary Waqf.
In conclusion, cash Waqf is considered as sedekah jariyah, which is encouraged in Islam. Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu reported Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as saying, "When a man dies, all his acts comes to an end, but 3 recurring charity, which is sedekah jariyah, or knowledge by which people are benefited, or a pious offspring who prays for him," reported by Muslim. So, that's all from our group. Thank you for watching.